Higher, higher, higher. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. We gon' with some we going higher on the case for we going higher on the case for we're gonna get it elevated to the Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? It's your boy Caseyville King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. Let's just say tonight felt like a all new, brand new season of AEW Dynamite. Listen, when I say you come hard at the pay-per-view, you come hard. And tonight, Tony Khan delivered, especially with the picture that you see from this video. I can't wait to talk about the MJF promo. My goodness. Listen, if y'all don't know what storytelling is and, you know, being realistic while quote unquote staying in story, man, that's why I said if that dude, if he ever did leave, he wouldn't be able to be half the person he is that you heard tonight. He just wouldn't be. I'm serious. But we got a lot to go over tonight. Majority of this show I enjoyed. There's a few things on this show I'm going to address. I will address them because I seen people talking about it. I just seen people's comments and everything. For people wondering why the review is so freaking late, y'all already know a lot of times I'm out handling business. Well, today we had a worship service at my church. Usually I don't go to church on Wednesdays. I normally don't. But we had some people come through and they ushered in the presence of the Lord, and I'm telling y'all, it was excellent. It was excellent, and I mean, man, my goodness, you know, things changed, bro. But anyway, I ain't here to talk about that. I'm here to go in on this outstanding episode of Dynamite. This is what I expect from Tony Khan week in and week out. You know, for people who quote unquote hate on AEW every day, they want AEW to fail. They say AEW can't tell stories. They say AEW can't do this. They say AEW can't do that. Well, if that's the case, then what was presented before you today was exactly how you come off after you drop a pay-per-view. The pay-per-view, in my opinion, was a good pay-per-view, but it could have been a whole lot better if you cut half the weight. Tonight's episode is how you come off of a pay-per-view. So it's kind of interesting how when we came off of Revolution, and how Revolution was a great pay-per-view, and then Tony Khan went right back to the same formulaic way of how he produced television shows on Wednesday and Friday night. This Wednesday, though, and kudos to the clowns out there in Los Angeles at the Orange County Coliseum or wherever it was they was at, but they was in LA. Those fans was insane. Shout out to, we seen Mr. Freddie Prinze Jr., you know, Freddie from Scooby-Doo. We seen Vince Vaughn. Heck, we even had a Home Alone sighting from my main man, McCullough McKirk. And I was like, oh my goodness, we got Home Alone in the building. Shout out to those cats showing up. Let's go ahead and break down this show. We begin the show. Trios match. the AEW World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk with FTR, your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, taking on the Gun Club, Austin and Colton Gunn, featuring Max Caster with Anthony Bowens in a wheelchair and Billy Gunn. Now, this with them coming out, Max Caster, his cheesy rhymes are getting better and better. Every time I hear him, his rhymes are getting better. It's still cheesy as heck, but they getting better and better. Everything that he said, he came at them, he said what he had to say, and then here come Austin and Colton trying to do the shtick that Anthony does. It doesn't work. As soon as Anthony got on that mic, listen, I'm telling y'all, man, the claim are over. The minute that man gets healthy, the minute he gets healthy, I can't wait to see my guys win those AEW tag teams. I just can't wait. I cannot wait. I want my boys to be tag team champions. I want them to be champions right now, but obviously they can't because Anthony's hurt. But they are over like a mug. So this tag team, this trios match, this is a good trios match, but everybody in the mama got to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Punk and the doggone botching. Punk be botching way too much, but he knows what he's doing. And he tried to do the jump. He tripped. He slipped. I said, oh, my goodness. I said, Punk is something else with this botching. But he got to get better at that. And he even addressed it. So, like I said, they going at it. Everybody getting their hits in. Cole, Austin, Cash, Dax, Max. Even Anthony and Billy Gunn got involved. But at the end of the day, you already knew who was going over. FTR and CM Punk get the victory. They end up beating, pinning Austin, if I'm not mistaken. So after the match, CM Punk addressed the crowd. He said, I got to get better. I know that. I understand that. He said, when I came in here, y'all already knew what I was planning on doing. I was planning on winning this thing right here. Like I said, listen, at the age I am, I know it's a lot of things I need to work on. Then Dax got on the mic. He started talking about going hard with the tag team titles and everything, what they planned on doing. And listen, the crowd was hyped. They was hyped for everything they were saying. And so then he gave the mic right back to CM Punk. And CM Punk said, well, we got a pay-per-view to sell. Who the heck am I going against? And out comes, let's see, how you say my man's name? Hold on, give me a second. Hiroshi Tanahashi walks out. So this is going to be your main event for Forbidden Door. Now, there's mixed feeling on this situation. Obviously, this is going to be a workhorse match for Punk because you know Tanahashi is going to do what he does. I've seen 3 matches from Tanahashi. I am aware of Tanahashi. Remember, like I said, I would prefer AEW still give us a backstory of who are these clowns that's coming in from New Japan, because everybody still doesn't know who's, everybody. Like I said, only thing of New Japan wrestling I saw was when Kenny Omega was over there, and I only seen a couple of Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-views. I've seen just a couple of matches here and there, but that's it. I never really watched the stuff on a religious basis like a lot of you in the IWC did. So that wasn't me. So like I said, what I need Tony Khan to do is I need him to give us a backstory of some of these cats that's coming over. So we got as of right now, we got 3 weeks to build, 3 weeks to this pay-per-view that's coming up. Right, it's gonna be in the backyard, June 26th at the United Center. The main event as of right now is Tanahashi versus Punk. So that is where we're going. Crowd went crazy. Like I said, IWC kind of mixed on this situation. I've seen some people say that they're not sure, how this is going to work or whatever, but we'll see. So right after that, now everybody thought, okay, after the beatdown he took from Warlow, that was just a way to write him off TV so that Tony Khan and him could squash their beef or whatever. Tony Khan said, I'm about to let you speak. I'm about to let you get on TV. You go out there and you say what the heck you got to say. And my goodness, MJF cut one of the best promos he has ever cut in his life. You can say he went off script. You can say this is a pipe bomb, whatever. He addressed everything. He is tired of these WWE clowns coming in and take his spot. He said he's been carrying this company on his back and he's tired of it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, The man basically said what Heyman wanted to say. Heyman couldn't say it because he was a babyface. MJF is the heel. This is what this is all about. This has absolutely nothing. I knew it had nothing to do with money. See, people were trying to say, oh, he's trying to get... No, this is not about money. This is about the fact that Tony Khan is bringing in all these WWE clowns. And he's a AEW original. And he's carrying the company. He's running circles around everybody that's coming. The man is only 26 years old. And he's running circles around everybody that comes through. And Tony Khan want to be a straight up punk. He said, man, look, Tony Khan, skip all this. He said, screw all this. Everybody talk about, oh, we're going to wait till 2024. No, skip all that. Tony Khan, if you do, you need to fire me. And he started cussing him out, started saying all this crazy stuff. Now, he did mention the fact that the Time Warner and Discovery clowns was in the house. They was in the attendance. The higher execs was there. And he started going off. He started cussing. They cut his mic. Listen, he went in. MJF went in. Now, you telling me if this fool ever jump ship, you think you're going to get this in WWE land? Heck to the freaking no. You're going to get some watered down clown. The fact that, and he even mentioned this, he said, you're getting Maxwell Freeman. He didn't say Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He said, you're getting Maxwell Freeman. So let you know, this is real talk. MJF ain't playing right now. He ain't playing. And the fact that this tells me he is going to take that title off of CM Punk when the time calls for it. Don't know. I have absolutely no idea when it's going to be. MJF ain't going nowhere. He said what he said. He wants Tony Khan to fire him. You know damn well Tony Khan ain't firing. He might as well skip that. He might as well skip that. So it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. MJF ain't going nowhere. The man is going to beat CM Punk when the time calls for it. He ain't going anywhere. So we can put this to bed. He said what he said. The promo was outstanding. I enjoyed it. Listen, this is what you walk away from right here. Ain't nobody in the game doing this right now. Nobody. Not nobody on Impact. Nobody in WWE land. Nobody in the game is doing what this young man is doing right here. Nobody. This is how you have somebody to go out there, say what they got to say, mean what they got to say, and you feel it. You feel it. Like, cause me, like I said, when it comes to MJF, I just let that dude talk. I let MJF say what he got to say and keep it moving. Why? Because he's the best talk in AEW right now. But like I said, he said all people used to think he sucked. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, I was one of them. I thought he sucked because when I saw him wrestle Cody, I was like, all right. Then he was wrestling a couple of jobbers on the show. I said, okay, he ain't really showing me nothing. Like, only thing I see from him is the fact that he could talk his behind off. That's the only thing I know. Like, he's really not showing me nothing in the ring till he got in there with Jungle Boy. Then he got in there with Moxie. Then he got in there with Darby Allin. And so on and so on and so. And then he got in there with Jericho. I mean, he just... And I said, okay, this young man really can wrestle. He can. So he can back it up. He can talk the talk, and he can walk the walk. So this whole MJF Tony Khan situation, this is all about the old clowns coming in as of right now. That's what it's about. It's not about money. Ain't about none of that. It's about the old clowns coming in, taking his spot. That's what it is. He is going to take that title off of CM Punk. So fools thinking he finna jump ship, he not jumping ship. He's going to take that championship off of CM Punk. Now, after he re-signed his contract, if WWE is still a thing 5-6 years from now, if he wants to go over there, by all means, he can go. Because he will be well established. He will be well established in AEW. Told Tony Khan, what if I was an ex-WWE guy, would you take me then? Just being real as it gets. Hey, kudos to MJF doing this thing. Now let's go. So right after that, we get Johnny Elite. And then a returning the Redeemer, Miro, cuts a promo about being back. Talks about how he's got to get back to where he used to be. And he's going to start right now by taking out Johnny Elite. It's good to have that man back. Everybody popped for him. Everybody went crazy. Listen, matchup, you already know what you're going to get from the Elite man himself. Mundo coming out there doing that slow motion stuff. JR mentioned Lana. Now, he didn't mention her by name, but he did mention her. So that means that she's around the corner. She's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Lana's coming. CJ Perry is coming. Like I said, the matchup was a very good matchup. They tore each other up. did what they, real quick. 1, 2, 3. Miro he did the that submission whole thing. That man tapped out like it was nothing. Miro's back, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody been wondering where he's been at. He been nursing that injury. Plus, he been filming something on CBS or something like that. But obviously, the filming is done. He's 100% ready to go. I'm glad he's back because he's been missed heavy. Fools been wanting him to be TNT champion. They said, man, get Miro back as the TNT champion. Like, well, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. He is back, and now he's back to wreak havoc in the AEW locker room. So let's go. Now, we get the video package from the Anarchy in the Arena match. Was absolutely, a lot of people said that this was match of the night. I don't blame you. These clowns destroyed each other. Every member in the group. They all tore each other up. Eddie Kingston with his crazy self looking like he just came off of Grand Theft Auto, the latest game. I mean, so now Daniel Garcia has a main event because he's going against Moxie later on. So he didn't come out there. It was just the four of them. It was Matt, Jeff, Jake, and Jericho. They came out. Song started playing. I still think Jericho should change the song. I'm telling you, the fans don't deserve. Listen, if you're a heel group, you're not the Inner Circle anymore. Change the song. Because mid-song, they said, okay, that's enough. Cut the music. You might as well just change the song. Come up with a more sinister song that cats can't really get to and can't get behind. And then if you ever turn babyface again, then you can bring Judas back. That's just my thing. So Jericho addresses the crowd. He says, we took those bozos out. We destroyed them. We murdered them. They tried to beat us up. They even ripped out half my hair. But we told you exactly what we was going to do. We ran the Anarchy in Arena match. We destroyed those buffoons. We tore those clowns up. They can't do nothing with us. None of them. Eddie Kingston is a psychopath. What kind of fool tries to burn somebody? I said, Jericho, look no further in the mirror. You burn that fool's face off anyway. Talking about who tries to burn somebody. That's you. So as he running his mouth and talking, Eddie Kingston and William Regal come walking out there. And that man starts saying, listen, I don't give a care no more. Listen, everybody in the back now talking to me. DB don't want nothing to do with me. I haven't seen Moxie in weeks. I'm like, Moxie in weeks? Bro, you just had a match with the man. I was like, what the clowns this fool talking about? You just had a match with the... I'm like, Eddie Kingston tripping. Eddie Kingston is tripping. He said, listen, I'm ready to beat the snot out of y'all right now. I don't care. If I had to do it by myself, I'll beat the brakes off of it. But you know what? We got a certain place up that I want to have a match with y'all. I want to have a rematch. I don't just want to have any old kind of rematch. Tell him, Regal. And Regal said, blood and guts. I said, there you have it. I knew this was coming. I already knew it. I said, the conclusion is going to take place in blood and guts. So as of right now, with them talking, he ran out there trying to beat the brakes off of them. Jericho was in the ring by himself. Ortiz came out to woodwork and popped Jericho across the head. And while him popping him across the head, he had a pair of scissors and he clipped some of his hair out. So then they said, all right, you want the match? Cool. All right. But then he said, first, I want to go against Ortiz in a hair versus hair match. So one of these clowns finna mess around and be bald headed. Is Jericho gonna be bald headed? I don't know. I guess Ortiz planning on getting his haircut. I guess, but that's that. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So far everything so far has been great. I've been enjoying it. I said it feels like the Dynamite after Double or Nothing. Kind of like what WrestleMania used to be. We used to have the Raw versus at the WrestleMania, where you could say that this was the Dynamite at the Double or Nothing, because that's what I got from majority of this show. So excellent segment, cool. That's what they did. Blood and guts is on the way. And so then we got a backstage segment. Joe is resting a messed up shoulder right now, and he said, "I'll be all right." Next thing you know, Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh come out the woodwork, beat the snot out of Samoa Joe, put his arm through the chair, and re-injure the arm that's already injured or whatever. So that's your beef that's going on. That's what Samoa Joe couldn't make the show. Hey, listen, this is how you do. So obviously the man gonna be off TV for just a little bit, which he, get a little rest on, but he'll be back to take those clowns out. Now we get this 10-man tag team match. Now y'all know how I feel about multi-man matches, but as of late, listen, I have no complaints about the multi-man matches. The multi-man matches as of late have been great, except for a few. This multi-man matchup was excellent. Now, Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy were not on this match. Adam Cole was on commentary because his shoulders messed up, and Jeff came out because he got a broken foot. So Christian took his spot. Now, my man from the Bullet Club, Hikuleo, he took Adam Cole's spot. Listen, this matchup right here, the Elite, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Hikuleo versus with Adam Cole and Brandon Cutler, obviously, versus Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, Matt Hardy, Darby Allin with Jeff Hardy. This matchup was great. I loved everything about this matchup until we got to the very end. Now, you already know how I feel about Jurassic Express as the tag team champs right now. Personally think they shouldn't be tag team champs right now. The matchup was excellent. Everything went great except the very end. Listen, AEW is starting to fall to that line that Vince does every time where your champions are getting pinned. No, the time is out. I'm tired of this, man. Listen, if it happens on rarity, fine. This stuff is starting to happen. It's starting to be a recurring theme, especially with the tag team champs. Why couldn't Matt Hardy be the one to get pinned? Or Darby? Or Christian? You had to have Jungle Boy get the one to be pinned? And I'm like, I didn't like that ending. Listen, I didn't have a problem with Matt and them winning because obviously they had to get their win back. And plus, they was in Matt and them backyard. You know that's their backyard. You know they from LA. They from California. So you know they was going over. It wasn't even no question. My deal is, why did the champs have to be pinned? Why did one of the champions have to be pinned? That's my biggest pet peeve right there. That's the foolishness that we see in WWE. We don't need to see that. You do not need to keep seeing it. It's starting to happen a little bit way too much. The match was excellent. Everybody got their licks in. Christian got his licks in. Matt got his in. Darby got his in. Kyle and Bobby was out there killing it. Matt and Nick killing it. Even my man from the Bullet Club, Hikuleo, he was doing this thing. This was the great 5 versus 5. This is great. This is a great 10-man tag. I told y'all, I ain't really crazy about the multi-man match. This is an excellent match. It's the ending that got me. This is the ending that I said, you know what? I would have had Christian or Matt or Darby get pinned. I would have not had any of the members of Jurassic Express because they're still champions. Why? So after the match, Matt Hardy picks up Jungle Boy. He hugs him. Christian walks in and kind of pushes Matt off a little bit just to hug. And I say, they keep teasing us. They keep telling us the breakup is coming. It's coming. It's right there. The breakup should have happened at Double or Nothing. We could be sitting here with new tag team champs. But they didn't go the route. They did not go the route. So Tony Khan said, no, I'm going to make sure that Jungle Boy get pinned again. And it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know. But it is what it is right now. So, like I said, matchup was great. I don't have a problem with the match. The 10-man tag team match was excellent in my book. It's just the finish. That's the only problem I got with the finish. So, talk about that. Move on. So, we get 8 now. Okay. All right. Let's be 1,000% with y'all. I'm going to be 1,000%. Remember what I said. Because they didn't go over, now it's like we got to revamp them. We got to do something. And now, you know, Swerve is going to do Swerve. Swerve is in the back with Lee, and they introducing some partners of theirs that they work with. Cats that work from the MCU with the Marvel stuff. Got a cat to do music, and then the dude that is a designer or something like that. Swerve says his part, and Keith Lee says some stuff that I really wouldn't even catch it, to be honest with you. Only thing I got was him when he said Swerve and I glory. That is the only line I got. And I feel like now, like, what do we do? Like, what are we doing with them? Honestly, what are we doing? It's like, okay, because they lost again, where the heck do they go? And this is what I'm talking about when I say Tony Khan's going to have to figure out how the clown do you get us to where we need to be. Because with this promo, I feel like they just falling back, and now he trying to revamp them, and it's like I don't know, and it's like I see people saying that Keith Lee promo skills and all this stuff. Why you think the man is with Swerve? Come on, man, like y'all, the man is with Swerve right now because Keith Lee really don't be talking that much. Like I said, he talked when he was in NXT. But remember, NXT was scripted, so his promos was written up for him. Now the fact that he's going off the top of the dome, and you got to understand, when Keith Lee talk, Keith Lee is like the big old teddy bear that when he speaks as if he's a gentleman, but you know dang well that if you get on his bad side, he's going to murder you. So I see why people were saying that the promo wasn't really that good. I'm like, look, Tony Khan really don't know what he's doing with them right now. Let's just call it for what it is. He really don't. Because they falling short again, and now it's like they just there to be there. Now, I hate to say it, because what the clown are we going to do with them now? Keith Lee did say that we're going to get back. I know we failed again, but we're going to get back to doing what? That's the question mark. That's the question mark. So then we follow up. Tony Schiavone is out there. He introduces AEW's new assignee, Mrs. Athena. She comes out. The crowd goes crazy. She said, I'm excited to be here. Everybody knows why I'm here. And I'm going after that TBS champion, Miss Jade Cargill, whoever she thinks she is. She said what she had to say. And as she's talking, Jade Cargill comes walking out. And she said, cut the poop. And the audience went nuts. That line that she said when she tell Tony to cut the poop is over like a mug. So she come out. She said, let me introduce to you my new manager. Now, Stokely Hathaway, formerly known as Malcolm Bivens, gets on the mic. He started talking about Athena as if Athena is nothing. Talking about who the heck you think you is. So I seen fools trying to compare this situation to Brandy. Y'all fools need to stop it. Here y'all go again with this, let's go ahead and compare another black woman because she black and she talking. No, forget all that. This ain't got nothing to do with no freaking Brandy Rose. Y'all need to move on. I seen y'all clowns talking about that. I saw y'all fools. I seen a whole lot of y'all clowns. Listen, I might not be on social media a lot, but when I get on there and I start seeing what clowns are saying, I see what y'all talking about. Y'all fools need to move the heck on. So they babbling and going back and forth. Chris come walking out there. So remember, you got the baddies just sitting right there. You got Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet. Chris come walking out there, and then Anna Jay come out. So now my mindset goes to trios match. Like that's what I'm thinking. We're gonna have a trios match. That's the first thing that goes in my mind. That's what I'm thinking. Trios match. But now this is what I'm thinking. So we got Chris and we got Athena. Ladies and gentlemen, could it possibly be, if Tony Khan wanted to, hold off Jade losing, but when she loses, have it be done in a triple threat? It's Athena versus Chris Statlander versus Jade Cargill for the TBS champion, which means Jade could lose the championship. She doesn't even have to be pinned that she could lose the champion. So in other words, you could still make Jade look good, even though she wouldn't be the one to get pinned. You can go that route, or she end up getting pinned by either Chris or Athena. That's what I'm thinking, that they might go that route. Because the fact that you had them, both of them come out, they all was standing, they all getting in each other's face. And I seen fools talk about here they go with that ghetto stuff. I'm like, look at man. Like I said, that's what I say. For some reason, people absolutely have absolutely no idea how to judge the cats that look like us when we get in the ring, because they got to go a certain way that they shouldn't really go. I'm trying to figure out when the time that we do that with the cats that don't look like us or don't have our skin tone. We don't do that stuff. It seems like everybody always do that with our wrestlers every time. It doesn't matter. I'm like, y'all need to move on with that stuff. Y'all need to, now y'all need to kick rocks. So I thought the segment was decent. Could have been done a little bit better, but I thought it was decent. They just let you know that the TBS title picture is insane now. It's just got crazy because Jade, she better watch her back. I know she got the baddies right there, but she better watch her back. And she got Mr. Stokely Hathaway, who's going to be doing all the talk. Even though she can talk. Jay can talk for herself. But you got Mr. Hathaway that's going to be right there running the baddie section. So I don't know where do we go from here, but I'm just giving you my ideas of what might possibly pop off. Because you got Chris and you got Athena sitting right there. One of them is getting it. Whether that's Athena or it's Chris. One of them is getting it. So, like I said, we move on. We get Mr. Warlow taking on JD Drake. This was a quick match. 1, 2, 3. Power bomb. Couple of power bombs. Match over. So, as soon as the match was done, Tony Schiavone hops in the ring to talk to Warlow and congratulate him and say, welcome to you, Mr. All Elite Warlow. He said, oh, it feels good. Next thing you know, Smart Mark Sterling with the neck brace come walking out and said, you're being served papers after all the abuse that you have done to every security officer here. You don't deserve to be here. I'll see your tail in court. So now we got the storyline going on with Warlow versus Smart Mark Sterling. Well, Warlow said, he said, look at this clown. Obviously, this fool don't watch. The security clown that was in the ring with her, he laid that fool up. He ripped that Summers up. Hey, we don't know where we're going with this, but hey, I thought that after the match segment was good. I thought it was decent. So let's carry on. Backstage, we get Skye, Dan Lambert, and All Ego Page talking about how we're going to present this TNT title here in LA, but we got to go against this young man named Dante. Now, he might have potential, but he can't step up to Skye. And Skye kept saying, yeah, you want a shot at Genie, but you can't get Genie. And I knew exactly where he was going. He was mentioning the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, which is Genie Buss. So I get what he was going with that. So as soon as he was finna snap his finger, Dante come out the woodwork and say, you ain't got in the ring. You haven't gotten in the ring with somebody like me. And I'll see your tail on Friday. I'll take you out. So, hey, I'm actually looking forward to this match. I know my boy Dante got to lose again, but I'm actually looking forward to this. I want to see how well Skye and Dante's chemistry match, because it's all about chemistry. It's all about chemistry. So these two will be going at it on Friday on Rampage. Now, we get to the tag team match. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's be 1,000%. Tony Khan basically gave us rematches without giving us rematches tonight. He decided to do it in tag team form, if you get my drift. We got Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter taking on Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. This matchup was excellent. I like the balance that you balanced off. You balanced Ruby's and Britt's weakness were balanced off with Jamie and Tony Storm. So with their weaknesses of what they bring to the table, you got Jamie Hayter out there doing work, and you got Tony doing work, and that's the best way where Britt and Ruby Soho can work better, because they got two ladies that can help them along the way. And like I said, this is no knock against Britt or Ruby, but they shine. I think Britt and Ruby shine better in tag team form than they do just doing singles. You knew Ruby was going to get the win back. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I felt that they kind of were teasing the breakup with Jamie and Britt, even though they really didn't do it. So Britt came out there just like Adam did. I forgot to say, Adam had his doggone Owen Hart title on his chest while he was on commentary, and she came out with hers, rocking hers and everything. So like I said, this is great. This is an excellent women's tag team match. This was great. Tony looked good, Jamie looked good, Britt looked good, Ruby looked good as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now this Ruby and them won. So after Ruby and them won, Britt and Jamie got in, they hugged each other, she gave her the championship, and everybody thought that she was finna whack her with it, but she didn't. So they just dipped off. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked about Ruby Soho at the pay-per-view and how Ruby still needs a lot of work when it comes to being a single women's wrestler. Her story as of right now has been she's been failing. She's failed to win the big one. She's failed to win the TBS title. She's failed to win the AEW Women's Championship, so she's failed. Well, with her getting booed like crazy on Rampage, I'm thinking this. I'm thinking maybe you can revamp Ruby and have Ruby be a heel. And if Ruby gets better in the ring, quote unquote, big if she gets better in the ring, I would not be opposed to Ruby Soho being the one to dethrone Thunder Rosa. But the only way that's going to happen is Ruby got to get better. Ruby has to. Ruby get better in the ring and she turn heel, I would not be opposed to her dethroning Thunder Rosa. I just wouldn't. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Y'all need to hit the comment section up on that specific thing that I said. That one. Like I said, because I know y'all got a lot of things that y'all want to address, and I'll talk about that. You know, like I said, y'all know what to do. But overall, this is a great women's tag team match. I enjoyed it. It was excellent. So, talked about that. Now we got the main event. Okay. So, we got a 5-man commentary booth. William Regal with Chris, with JR, with Excalibur, Tony Schiavone. You got all these clowns on commentary, right, for this matchup. Daniel Garcia and Moxie. Man, this is a bloodbath. Moxie got busted open again. Moxie just listen. Moxie, all he know how to do is bleed. Like, that's what Hangman used to do. Hangman, it's funny. Hangman quit bleed. Hangman said, I had enough to get busted open. Moxie said, no, bust me open. The more you had to, bust me open. Bust me the heck open. This matchup wasn't really that bad. This was actually a pretty decent main event. Daniel Garcia, to me, Daniel Garcia is getting better. I wasn't on the bandwagon at first. Young man is getting better in the ring. You know what you're going to get from Moxie. I never had to talk about Moxie's wrestling. Fools actually be thinking that Moxie's not a good wrestler. You sleeping on Moxie. Look, depending on who Moxie gets in the ring with, you know what Moxie going to do with whoever he gets in the ring with. And the fact that Moxie made Garcia look great, especially when he rolled up and hit him in the head, his head was already busted. I mean, it had the cut mark on it. But then when he rolled off of him, I guess that's what did it. And I said, man, Moxie bleeding all over the place. So you got William Regal and Chris Jericho going back and forth on commentary, saying some of the most outlandish cuckoo clock. He calling himself a wizard, talking about who the heck Eddie Kingston think he is, and all this, and I mean, just blabbing his mouth, talking about ain't nobody fighting nobody, no blood and guts, and all this crazy stuff. And so he said, you know what, screw this, I'm finna go help my boy Daniel Garcia out. He runs to the ring. he runs to the ring, and he's trying to attack Moxley. Well, Eddie Kingston comes out the woodwork. He grabs him and he starts beating the snot out of him. And so that's what causes the distraction for Daniel. Moxley ends up doing the paradigm shift, gets the match 1, 2, 3. So then he gets on the mic. He said, you know, Eddie, it's hard to love you, man, but you my guy. You know I'm always have your back. So Jericho, if it's blood and guts you want, it's blood and guts you're gonna get. So there you have it. Now you have 2 men in. With my bad, 3. So now we got to get the other 2 men, because you remember Eddie Kingston and Bryan is not on the same playing field right now. We got 3. We got Ortiz. We got we got Ortiz. We got Kingston, and we got Moxley. So we need to get Santana and we need to get Bryan whenever he decides to get on board. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how the show ends. That's how it goes off. So this was a very good show. This is how it should always be when you come off a pay-per-view. You got to make cats feel like this is the show after the pay-per-view. And I got to give Tony Khan props. The promo ability with Athena, the promo ability with Keith Lee, the stupid decision to have Jungle Boy get pinned while he's still a champion. I didn't like that. Outside of that, I'm cool with everything that happened on the show. I really am. I really don't have no complaints. The pacing. Oh, and the set was great. Ladies and gentlemen, how the heck did this set look better than the Double or Nothing set? Double or Nothing looked like a regular Dynamite set. This set would kind of remind me of the Arthur Red Stadium, even though to this day, the Arthur Red Stadium set is still the best Dynamite set to date. They still have not been able to top the set from last year. They have not. I've been waiting, and this is the one nod I got to give Vince and them. Vince and them somehow know how to make, when they go to the pay-per-view, they make the set look way different than how Raw and SmackDown looks. So I got to give Vince and them props on that. Tony Khan, we're going to have to work on getting the pay-per-view sets to look way better than just a regular Rampage or a regular Dynamite. This setup was great. I like the setup. It looked great. I got to give Tony Khan and the production team props. They did a great job. Okay, so now that's the end of the review. Now I got some news that I got to speak on. I got to talk about Sasha and Naomi situation. I'm going to talk about Jake Atlas situation. And I'm going to talk about Matt Riddle, Damian Priest, and I don't know if Leah. I'm going to talk about all that. I'm going to discuss everything, in this. So let's talk about Sasha and Naomi. So apparently, Sasha and Naomi ain't heard nothing from them. And apparently this thing could possibly go to court. And I'm like, my goodness. I said, now that's sad. That's sad that the fact that because of creative differences and because of what Bruce called them, because nobody's talking about that. Nobody wants to talk the real true reason outside of the creative, the dumb creative. Bruce Pritchard called them out their names. Nobody want to talk about that. That this situation could possibly go to court. That is messed up. If that is the situation, Vince and I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm like, bro, how the heck are you allowing this situation to get this out of hand? You know, you had fools that would sit up and say that Vince McMahon is in the right. No, he is not. First, he don't know how to. You have to treat your employees with respect, even though they private contractors. Treat them as with respect. That's the thing. Vince has no respect for none of his talent. I don't even care. He ain't even really got no respect for Roman Reigns, to be honest with you. He has no respect for none of the clowns that work for him. None. And the fact that this situation could possibly go to court. Now, I'm not sure about the contract situation. I'm not sure if Vince is going to freeze him. Because if he doesn't freeze them, then they are able to get out. And then whenever their contracts expire, you already know what to do. Oh, and that's it. I want to talk about Bray Wyatt too. Like I said, the whole situation is just it's sad, it's messed up. I'm rooting hard for the ladies out. Listen, if Vince McMahon wasn't crazy as a Betsy bug, if he respected the women, I wouldn't mind them coming back to the E to finish up their contracts, to do what they need to do, and then just let the contracts expire when the time comes. But it's just like Vince has no respect. He doesn't. He has no respect for the talent that works for him. And Cass is like, look, I had enough. Listen, we tried to do it your way. Sasha and Naomi tried their best. They tried their best to do it Vince's way. And Vince continues to slap them in the face and say, I don't care nothing about you women. I don't care nothing about you. I don't care nothing about you. I don't care nothing about the division. I don't care. When if they wanted to put their minds together, they can have an outstanding women's division. Because the ladies at WWE, a lot of them are actually pretty good in the ring when they get an opportunity to do work. But Vince McMahon not interested in giving them proper storylines. He's not interested in booking them right. So it's like, what the heck? Like, what's the point? That's all Sasha and Naomi wanted to do, was bring prestige to those tag team titles. That's all they cared about. They weren't really tripping about being in the main event. But they, listen, you know Naomi and Sasha should be, but they've been snatched. They've been cut. They constantly get cut. How many times has Naomi been cut from the main event spot? How many times? Fools be online, they be rooting hard for it. Naomi has one of the, listen, outside of Sasha, Naomi got one of the biggest fan bases on social media. It don't even make no sense. I didn't know it was that big. Like I said, being in it myself, I did not realize how big the fandom for Naomi was. It is huge. It's huge, ladies. Same thing for Sasha. Now, when it comes to people, when you call this the stands, the people that's insane, I'm not here to talk about them, because a lot of them, they just crazy as the best. But I'm just talking about people who are regular fans that support them no matter what they do. I want to see Naomi and Sasha succeed. I don't want to see them being treated as if they don't matter. I want to see these two beautiful black women succeed no matter where they go. If Sasha wants to go to Stardom, that would be great. If Naomi wants to come to AEW by herself, that would be, listen, I would love for both of them to come. Trust me, I would. Because I believe that would possibly help out the AEW women's division. Heck, that would even get them the ratings that they want. People been complaining about the AEW ratings like it's crazy, but you talk about boosting the ratings, all the ratings will shoot to the moon. They will shoot to the moon because people love Sasha. People love Naomi. They want to see these girls do work. They want to see them, and I'm too. I want to see the ladies do work. I want to see the ladies be presented with care as well. You know what I'm saying? And you know Sasha want to go to Hollywood too. So now let's talk about Jake Atlas. Now everybody know Jake Atlas is a signed contract person to AEW, and Jake insists this is Pride Month. Jake Atlas is a known gay guy. He's, you know, well, Jake Atlas got himself caught up in a domestic battery situation. He and his partner and some other cat were doing the nasty, or whatever you want to call it, and he started beating the brakes off of cats. He started beating the brakes off his dude, and it got ugly, and it's just all that. And I'm like, listen, man, I don't care. Domestic violence is wrong. No matter if it's a straight relationship or gay relationship, it doesn't matter. Domestic violence is wrong. And with this situation that happened with Jake, now Jake, he been nursing the ACL situation. So I don't know what Tony Khan is going to do about this, because obviously, like I said, he was in the wrong. He got arrested for it. So maybe when he gets back, maybe Tony Khan put him in sensitivity training or something. I don't know. Now let's go over to Matt Riddle. And then Matt Riddle, Damian Priest got called to the forefront. Matt Riddle is no longer with his wife. Now, Cat's been putting Matt Riddle on the signpost for a long time. Matt Riddle has been cheating on folk left and right. He's been doing all kind of crazy stuff. And it's funny how at the time his wife was protecting him and saying that you're wrong and he ain't do this and he ain't do that. Now she out here outing him all over the place. And the fact that she even outed him and said that he, Damian Priest, and somebody else was having a threesome. They put that news all over the place. I said, oh, snap. I said, I ain't know you get down like that. I said, shoot up. And they said the third person could have been Layla, Rhea Ripley. I don't know. That's what they said. But that's crazy as the best, bud. That is insane. And people love Matt Riddle. Like I said, shout out to my main girl, Manny, who was putting the food that was out here trying to cape for them, putting them on blast. That's why that Matt Riddle got me blocked. I never said a word to Matt Riddle. Never said a word to him. Y'all check to see if there's any wrestlers that got me blocked. Matt Riddle has me blocked. I'm blocked by Matt Riddle. I've never said a word to him. And I'm like, it is what it is. But the fact that the man is still out there, the man was put on the signpost for messing around with young girls and all this stuff. And at the time, his wife was said that he didn't do anything. Now she out here outing him. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy as heck. So the final news that I'm going to discuss is Mr. Wyndham Rotunda, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt. Now, yesterday, Bray Wyatt broke the internet. He posted some cryptic tweets about how he's been chilling. He's had time to reflect, and now it's time for him to get back to professional wrestling. Now, somebody like myself who thought he would come over to AEW like right around Halloween time, he hasn't come. And now the fact that he was doing movies and all this crazy stuff, now he's talking about coming back. Well, the fan in me wants to see what he would do if he had creative freedom to come over to AEW. I would love to see it. But after looking at that crypto tweet, and salute to Mr. WWE himself, Mr. Stephen had took the crypto tweet. Now it was a picture of like a dragonfly, butterfly, something like that, and the head was kind of redded in. So what he did was he took the picture and he flipped it upside down and he zoomed in. And as you zoom in, you can see it's a picture of the Fiend. That right there makes me think he may be going back to WWE. And I'm like, I don't know why you be going back there. You know Vince McMahon don't like you. You know Vince McMahon gonna have you looking like a clown again. Ladies and gentlemen, it would not shock me. I'm not watching it. It would not shock me if I hear that he interferes in the Hell in a Cell match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. That's where he makes his return. It would not shock me at all. It wouldn't. I'll be kind of disappointed because, like I said, I would love for him to come over to AEW. But if he wants to go back to WWE, Vince McMahon, you better do him right this time, man. Do him right, man. That's all we ask. We just want the wrestlers to be treated with respect. I don't care the fact that they private contractors. Listen, dude. Look, you lost so many of the cats that you used to have because of quote-unquote budget cuts. Listen, Roman finna be chilling, so you really ain't got nobody outside of Cody. If you bring Wyndham Rotunda, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt, back, make sure you present him with care, whatever you plan on doing. So if the Fiend is returning, book him right this time, man. Don't have him where he feels miserable and he feel like he lost his passion for wrestling or whatever. Do him right, dog. That's all we ask. Just do him right. Do him right. That's it, man. But outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this review. Hit the freaking comment section up. Tell me how you felt about this excellent Dynamite episode. I don't usually use that terminology. I thought the show was great. I said this is how the show is supposed to be. When you come off a pay-per-view, you have to feel like this is the show after that pay-per-view. And I believe that this is a all-new season of All Elite Wrestling Television. This is it. Hit the freaking comment section up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. This is your boy, Caseyfield, King Self for Life Wrestling It Takes. I'll talk to you cats later. I'll let you boy.